Hi everyone. Do you ever feel there's something wrong with the world? I want to speak with you today about what Christianity calls the fall and how understanding the fall can help us when it comes to answering the question, why does God allow so much suffering? Let's get into it. So the huge amount of suffering in the world is probably the biggest reason people struggle to believe in God. But where does our sense that there is something wrong with the world come from? I want to say that I think our sense that something is wrong, our longing for things to be made right, is pointing to something important. When someone we love dies, when we wrestle with our mental health, when we go through trauma, I don't know anybody who responds to that by saying, well, we live in a chaotic universe, so what should I expect? No, regardless of what we believe, we tend to feel something is wrong here. In a previous video, I asked the question, if God does not exist, if the universe is a chaotic accident, on what basis can we say that something is wrong with the universe? In this video, I want to say that when we understand what Christianity calls the fall, we're provided with a way of looking at the world which can help us to make sense of our feeling that something is not right. Christianity does not say God created a wonderful world and isn't life just wonderful. That's not Christianity. Instead, Christianity says the world was created good and we were created for loving, secure relationships with God and with each other. But that through the fall, through human beings' rejection of God, chaos and suffering have been unleashed in God's creation. At one point, the Apostle Paul even describes the world as being under a curse. And from a Christian standpoint then, the feeling we have when we suffer badly, that something is wrong, is absolutely 100% correct. Now, to be clear, this doesn't explain why God allowed suffering to come into the world in the first place. But what it does is provide a way of looking at the world which helps us to make sense of our feeling that something is not right. And this is exactly what we see in the Bible as well. The psalmist declares, "Darkness is my closest friend." That's pretty honest. In the book of Job, he cries out, "May the day I was born be wiped out." And Jesus Christ himself said on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Suffering is a reality that is given full and raw expression in the Bible. Maybe someone said to you in a church context, you just need to have faith. And that can be so unhelpful if you are wrestling with the kinds of big questions that we're dealing with at Skeptic Space. But I want to say Christianity is upfront and real about suffering. And through the language of the fall, we're given a way to speak about our deep sense that something is not right. And in Jesus, the claim is that God doesn't sit back watching us suffer, but that in Jesus, God takes the fall upon himself, takes the death and suffering of the world upon himself in order to set us free and to restore our relationship with God and with each other. And that through Jesus' resurrection, God promises that suffering and death will not have the last word, that the chaos will be made right. So when we suffer and feel something is not right, Christianity says we feel that because it's true, and that our longing for safety away from the ravages of suffering is because we were created for relationship with God and with each other. That's the claim. In the next video, which will be the last in this short playlist on suffering, I'm going to get into some of the cultural problems we have in the West when it comes to suffering, and actually how Christianity isn't so much of a crutch, but actually something that can help us to turn and courageously face our suffering. If you're new here, then consider subscribing. I'm Matt White, this is Skeptic Space, and thanks for watching.